called Lexicon of Love. This is Toon Torner. I'm Staggy Von Bauhaus. This is Preston Buttercup. Preston's wanted to listen
Hey.
to this forever. They heard it in a record store, a song that they can't remember, and we chose this one.
I heard it
Usually,
in a record store song.
they heard it in a record store, the song was playing, and I can't remember, and basically, uh, usually we try to pick an album that we are not familiar with, etc., etc. But that won't always be the case. Sometimes we'll pick an album that one of us is familiar with. Maybe both. We'll see. But I'm not. We're really not familiar with this album at all. So we're gonna take a listen to the first song. It's a new wave album, new wave synth pop dance pop album called Lexicon of Love by ABC, and the first song is Show Me. So we just listened to the first song of the Lexicon of Love by ABC called Show Me. And Preston, I'm gonna guess that you like this song a lot.
I did. I really liked it a lot. Um, it had like an orchestral intro with like these violins or
Yeah.
something, but then when like the drums and the bass kicked in, it it made me smile. Gave me a
Oh.
smile. I was bobbing my head. It's just I don't know. I guess I just have a love for synth pop, and this is like early '80s, so yeah, it's like funky. It's got that funky bass, and I thought it was just a great jam. I thought it was really catchy. I didn't I don't know, like at first I liked the chorus, but like the more the chorus kept happening, the more I loved it, and I really liked these not exactly instrumental parts, but these parts where his voice, he reaches in this higher register and there's all this reverb on his voice and these big like synth lines, and I just really love like the bridge to this song. I think like it elevated the song a lot for me, and the ending, it's just a very like grand like pop song, and yeah, I really liked it a lot. I think I'm feeling like a 8.8, and I feel like I could like it even more the more I listen to it. I liked it a lot.
The rhythm was kind of complicated.
Yeah, it was. There was a lot going on musically.
I mean, I haven't listened to a lot of synth pop, but that's probably one of the more complicated synth pop drum beats I've heard. Because usually, you just get the boom, shh, boom, shh. I mean, not like that, but you usually get like not really the most complicated drum beats in synth pop. It seems like, but this one was like almost like I don't know if syncopated is the right word,
I don't know. I'd have to listen to the song again.
but it sounds very like I don't know, like it's fast. It's has a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not as huge as a fan of synth pop as Pussy is, but I like it. I like it. I like it pretty good. I probably like it more now than before I met Preston, but I didn't hate it before I met them. I hated it when I was like 13 or something, but then I grew up. But yeah, I'm honestly feeling like a 9 on this
Oh
song.
my god.
It was a good opener. I thought the chorus was good. I thought the chorus was catchy.
Yeah.
It was really fast paced. It's a really good way
Yeah.
to open up the album.
I
And
would listen to this song many times. I could see it
uh,
becoming a favorite of mine.
it takes a lot for me to come back to an album. It takes a lot
Hmm.
for me to come back to an album. And I probably won't come back to this album. I might come back to certain songs.
Well, I mean, we only heard one song so far.
I know, but I very rarely come back to albums. Very rarely. I
Yeah.
would be. I'm just saying in all likelihood, but maybe this could
Oh.
take it. So the next one is Poison Arrow. What do you think this one's gonna be about?
I think it's gonna. Well, I mean, if we're going by the love theme of the album, sounds like it's gonna be about like a Cupid situation. Getting hit
Oh,
with someone's love arrow, but I hope it's about poison dart frogs.
yeah, me too. Second song, PB, Peanut Butter and Belly. What do you got to say about this song?
I thought this was a really good song. My prediction was correct. He literally mentions Cupid in the
Yes,
song.
I was thinking that it is a Cupid thing.
um, it's just so good. It sounds similar to the first song, and I mean,
I don't think
I'm
it
just,
does. I don't think it does.
well, I mean, it's different, like writing wise, but just the sound. It's got the funky drums, and it's got like lots of like piano. Uh, but it's such a good song to me. It's a really good pop song. It's energetic. It's super catchy. I love the vocalist. Full of passion. I love when he reaches like those high notes.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say about it except that I just thought it was a great pop song. It's what I look for in synth pop. Super, just like energetic and passionate, and this is just like a really grand song, and it's very catchy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling like a 9.
Okay. I didn't like it at first. I didn't there's something about the instrumentals I didn't like at first, but eventually it grew on me, and the chorus saves this song.
Interesting.
To me, if the chorus isn't as good as it is, this song is forgettable.
Hmm.
I don't like the talking part in the middle. I thought that part was weird and cheesy.
I can see how it can be like cheesy. I didn't mind it. I actually liked what was going on like instrumentally in that part, and I thought I don't know, it didn't last very long, so I didn't mind it at all, personally.
Yeah, but it was still in the song, so it still needs to be critiqued, and I didn't like it, so that affects the score. Luckily, I don't think the verses were really all that great. Uh, I mean, I like them, I guess. I don't know. It's okay. I just think that the chorus is what makes this song. What made this song reach number 6 on the UK singles chart and on the number 25 on US Billboard Hot 100 chart, I think, is the chorus. I think everything else about this song isn't particularly memorable, but the chorus is so. I mean, the tempo and um, the instrumentals are fine. I can see what you mean when you say it sounded like the last song, but I think there's enough variation. Like, you can tell it's the same band, but I think there's enough variation in there to say where it's not samey.
No.
But I think the tempo of the song at the beginning sets up the chorus, which is the heart of the song. So, I mean, without that, like I said, the song is probably a skip, but with it, probably a 8. Feeling an 8.
Actually, when the song started, I wasn't super into it either. I was thinking I definitely liked "Show Me More," but
Yeah.
as the track went on, it grew on me a lot. And to me personally, I actually liked the bridge a lot. I almost liked it like more than the chorus. for some reason.
Oh,
But
yeah, the bridge is good too. I kind of took those two as one.
yeah.
I kind of put those two as one. So, Who Broke My Heart, the Cupid, Stupid, and then Shoot the Poison. I take that as the chorus, even though it's not
Oh,
really.
yeah. I mean, it basically is.
Yeah,
Right?
but like that part of the song is what makes this song as good as it is, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay, so the next song is Many Happy Returns. Hopefully it's a song of cheer and joviality. Happy Returns? You know who goes first? Me!
You can go first.
Me! I thought that song was really good. I think it was actually probably my favorite of the songs so far.
Ooh.
I thought the outro at first was really cheesy until it started reminding me of Gran Turismo.
Ooh, I've never
And
played Gran Turismo.
it didn't elevate the song, but it didn't detract it like I thought it was going to. But I could probably still do without the outro, but it's okay that it's in there. Yeah, I think this is the best song on here so far. I'm feeling a 9.1.
I really like this song too. When it first started, well, first of all, I really liked how the song started. It sounds different from the first two, and that there's just some tinge of darkness to it. It's like got this moodiness to it. And but I wasn't super into the verses at first. And then the chorus came around, and I was like, okay, this chorus is pretty good. And then as it kept going on, I started liking it a lot more because I think the chorus is super good. It definitely grew on me a lot by the second time I heard it.
Yeah.
And then I really love the Now She's Gone Away part near the end. I think instrumentally it's super good. It's really funky. It's got these piano chords. It's definitely has like a strong disco like influence, I guess. Yeah, and then by the time it went to the last chorus, I was really loving it. And I definitely see how you could find it cheesy. And in the last chorus, they have those like backup vocalists. But
I didn't think that. I thought it matched because I don't really remember there being backup vocalists. Yeah, I did. Not even say something about it, but they were very out of the way and they complemented the song well.
Oh, okay.
I thought
when you said the end,
the outro, I meant the piano. Him playing the piano, the lounge.
Oh, like that solo?
Yeah, the jazz lounge piano.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just thought you meant that because I could definitely see why someone could find like the singers cheesy. But yeah,
cheesy lounge piano.
Yeah, to me the singers added a lot to it and definitely fit in. And yeah, I actually really liked the outro a lot. I really liked the solo. Guess I'm just an 80s freak, but even though I wasn't super hot on the verses, everything else just really elevates it. I think this is a great song. And I definitely could see the verses growing on me the more I listened to it, because everything else is so good. So I'm feeling a 9 on this one.
Alright. Okay, so the next song is Tears Are Not Enough. Oh no.
Oh.
It's sad. Okay, well, guess we're gonna do this with that one. Tears Are Not Enough. I'm glad it ended when it did because the chorus was honestly starting to grate on me. I thought it was really good at first, but it got like progressively less good the more he said it. And like I was thinking, man, if he says this like 6 more times, it's gonna be really annoying. So I think they did a good job at like realizing this and cutting it off at an optimal point. It's not getting samey, but like almost instrumentally, I know what to expect. Like I probably know what the rest of these songs are going to generally sound like. Like I have like a platonic ideal in my head. I have a form of the lexicon of love in my head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I probably know what the rest of these songs are gonna sound like. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I don't know, between Show Me and Poison Arrow, there's a variation, but like they have that fast upbeat tempo with piano and sax and pop and the British voice. I mean, it's good, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I could see myself getting pretty tired of this by the end of song. So there's actually 11 songs on Spotify, but 10 songs on the original. And what we're gonna do is do the 10 songs and have that as our actual rating, and then listen to the 11th song, which is a theme from Man Trap, which is apparently some TV thing they did songs for, and we're kind of, like sort of similar to Judge Yourself from the Holy Bible, so it won't factor into our rating, but we'll listen to it because it's on Spotify, but it's not a part of the original album. But anyway, for Valentine's Day, I'm feeling like, for Tears Are Not Enough, I'm feeling like a 7.9.
I definitely see why that chorus would would start to bother you. It's very repetitive. It goes tears.
Yeah.
and in this very I don't know, just desperate voice. And he just sings it repeatedly, like quite a few times.
It doesn't hit the ear right. I don't like how it hits the ear.
Now, at first, I wasn't as hot on this song as the others. But I do really like the first verse. He really sings very high. I like when he sings high, though, for some reason, but...
I like the first verse because it's a Tears for Fears diss.
I really like the lyrics. Tears for souvenirs, tears are not enough. Tears for shields and spears, tears are not enough. And, at first, I wasn't into the tears are not enough chorus. But as it went on, I actually liked it more, which is kind of the opposite of you. I liked how, I don't know, I liked how his melody stayed the same, but I liked how the music, like, changed under it. I don't know, I thought it was really good, but I agree that I'm glad the song is short, though. It would definitely wear on me if it was longer, so I think they say it just enough times. But honestly, I wasn't super into like the verses of this song. I thought they were good, and fine, and I could see it growing on me if I listened to the song more. But I wasn't like loving it. Except I did like the part that goes blueprint that says that boy meets girl.
Yeah,
girl meets boy.
I like that. I thought that part was better than that. I thought that was the chorus because he says it twice. Well, I mean,
yeah, it's kind
at
of.
At first, I thought it kind of was until he starts repeating "Tears are not enough." It's like, ugh.
It was really good. You sound like a opera singer.
He sounds like a bad imitation of David Bowie on this song.
Yeah, I definitely see why his vocals would bother you on this song.
But I mean, otherwise, his vocals have been fantastic.
Yeah, I think he's a great singer.
This is by far his worst vocal performance that I've heard, and it's only the fourth song, and there's many times to redeem himself, and many times to outdo his badness. So we'll see. So what are you giving this rating, PV, or do you have anything else to say?
Well, there was one part. I have to listen to the song again to exactly remember what goes on in that part. There's one part near the end of the song that really stuck out to me that was sort of like instrumental break or something
Mm-hmm.
that I thought was really good. But anyway, I think I'm feeling like a 8 on this one because aside from the verses, or I mean, aside from the chorus and the blueprint picture part, um, I just thought the song was like good, but I wasn't like loving it. I think the chorus definitely elevates it, but the chorus also I definitely could like wear on me, and this is a song that I feel like
I feel like if
I
it
wouldn't
was,
listen to repeatedly.
I feel like if it was like 3 minutes flat, it would be good, a lot better. Like if Tears Are Not Enough just isn't repeated as much as it is, it would be a lot better in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so the next song is Valentine's Day. Hope you guys are getting a little hot and bothered, because we will off this recording. Hey Preston,
What, Staggy?
it's Valentine's Day.
Oh my God, Valentine's Day is coming early this time.
Yeah, it came early with this song.
Oh.
You came early last week. So, Preston, give me some thoughts on this song. I like the absurd lyrics a lot.
Yeah, I liked the lyrics.
It was very
So
playful.
yeah, I like.
I thought it was gonna be like some horny love song, but it's like really not.
Yeah. I really like when they find you beached on the barrier reef, and the only pleasure treasured is in map relief. The choice is
Yeah,
yours, sure saint or thief. There's a lot.
yeah,
I really like these lyrics actually.
yeah. They're really good.
Yeah, I hope you
Um,
find a sucker to buy that mink. Um, I really like this song. When it started, a lot of these, a lot of my reviews kind of start similar. Where I'm like, when it started, I thought it was good, but I wasn't like loving it. But as it went on, I loved it more. I think a lot of synth pop does that to me. But
like it grows on you
yeah,
as it progresses towards the end. Isn't that what cancer does?
I got synth pop cancer.
Yeah.
Um, like at first, my favorite parts of the song were actually the instrumental parts. There's like this, I guess, glockenspiel or vibraphone or something part that plays a melody that I think is really really good. And yeah, and there's this instrumental part with this like piano. It's like stabby piano that I thought was super good. I thought it was like really playful sounding, and I really loved it like instrumentally. But as it went on, the verses grew on me more, and I really like. I just think as the song goes on, like it gets better with like this stabby synth that goes on during the verses, and it has a whole lot of like momentum, and that just keeps building. I think it was like a really good song. I'm feeling like I'll say 8.7.
Okay. See, the thing with me here is that the instrumentals are becoming to blend together between the songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm sure if you listen to an album, the instruments are gonna sound similar because they were all recorded in one session with the same instruments. You know, I mean, an album is supposed to be cohesive. If it was just like a bunch of different sounding songs with, it would just be more like a collection of songs in an album. But that being said, it's just, I don't know, I feel like they're probably doing the most they can as far as like, but I feel like it's falling almost into a formula, the instrumentation, like just sort of like this fast like piano stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they can mix it up. Like why not do some synthy guitar effects every once in a while? I don't know. Like I feel like they're falling into the same formula instrumentally. But lyrically, song is great. He sings it great. Still a song worth listening to. I'm feeling an 8.2.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I definitely see what you mean. I mean, and I'm definitely fine with this song having a similar sound palette throughout. And I think the songs are well written enough to keep this album exciting for me. But I can see like if for the rest of this album, for the second half of this album, I can see the sound maybe starting to get a little old. It would be nice if there was just a little variation, or maybe in just the way, because all the songs so far are like these very fast, like disco-y songs. It would be nice if there was a song that sounded different. But I do think the writing of these songs is consistently very strong, and I do think personally I find there are little things that differentiate the songs for me, like in this part, that melody I talked about that sounded like it was on a vibraphone or something.
What they're not actually. It's not like they're playing the same notes or in the same exact order. There's going to be variation. It's just I feel like it's also there's also variations within formulas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I feel like there's like just an overall structure to their instrumentation so far that's pretty predictable.
Yeah.
And getting not really. It's not because it's not bad, but like just getting a little tiresome. Like.
Yeah, I would like if there was maybe some variation in the synth sounds, or lost my train of thought. I was going to say something. Oh, I think it would be nice. I mean, I already said this, but it would be nice if there was at least one song on here that had like a different pace or something.
Yeah, like a slow song. Maybe The Look of Love, part 1 will be the slow song. We're going to review that one next. Love part 1.
PB also stands for punk bitch.
Yeah.
I really like this song. The chorus I think is really great. I think it's one of the strongest choruses on this album, and I remember that this is the song that I heard.
That you heard? You remembered it? You remembered it?
Yeah, I didn't think I would, but that chorus, I remembered it when I heard it, and even though I just heard this song like one time, a long time ago, that chorus it's such a strong chorus. It's so good. It's one of the more simple choruses on this album, but it's very effective in its simplicity.
It's very disco-y. And
yes.
I know there's sort of like a disco, like definitely disco, like it's disco in throughout the album, like influencey, but it's more like synth pop than disco. This is just a straight up disco song, I feel like.
Yeah, and also, so in these songs there pops up these orchestral arrangements. Like we've heard like some strings and some brass. In this song, it's definitely the most. There's more of that in this song than any of the other songs we heard so far.
There's
I think.
What?
There's more of that orchestral instrumentation with the brass and the strings.
Yeah, I found that instrumentally it was also a lot different than their previous like 5 songs.
Yeah, I mean it was another very upbeat pop song with the funky bass, but actually the bass. I really like, they have like this slap bass with this reverb on it that sounded interesting, and also they actually had synth bass in this song, which I don't know if they've had so far on this album, which is a welcome change of sound to me. The orchestral instrumentation, I personally, I don't know, it's so loud. This is a very loud song, and the orchestral instrumentation is almost like overpowering, but I think it's good. That chorus, like, it's just such a good chorus. I think. Yeah, the chorus elevates the song a lot to me, and Yeah, I think it's a great pop song. I think I'm feeling like a 9.2 on this song.
Oh, your highest rating on so far for this song. Um, yeah, I think it's definitely up there on the best songs on this album. It's very it's memorable. Like
Hmm.
this chart, I was looking. Yeah, it seems like it's a pretty popular song. It was number one on Canada Top Singles. Number one on
Whoa.
U.S. Billboard Hot Dance Club Play. Yeah, I can see this being
Oh my
popular
god.
in the clubs. So you know it was pretty popular in the clubs. I'm feeling a straight up 8.9 on this one.
Well, it's interesting to me that I've only heard this song like one time before, considering it's apparently such a popular song.
No, it
But
really isn't, considering this came out in 1982, and
I guess so. But I mean, I've heard. I mean, I'm super into 80s pop, and I don't know. Like I've heard a lot of 80s pop songs on the radio before. I don't. So, but maybe it's not surprising. But
okay.
I don't know. I'm just surprised. This doesn't seem to be named when people talk about like 80s synth pop classic
I
songs.
see. I see. Okay, so we're gonna do the next song is Date Stamp, and we're gonna get right back to you on that one. Not a very exciting title, but maybe it'll be a good song. Just listen to Date Stamp, and I'll start. I thought this was probably the weakest song on the album, but I still thought it was all right. It was good. Um, I don't know. It didn't really. I don't know. The woman singing. I don't know. Looking for the girl that meets supply with demand. Everything is temporary written on that sand. Well, I mean that it's switched around, but those two lines I think are, I would say, good. I don't know. It just didn't really click with me as much as the other songs, but it's still a good song, I think. It did seem different though, while still feeling coherent within the album. So that has
Mhm.
that going for it, I think. What do you think?
Where interesting that we have some differing opinions on this song because I think it's one of my favorite songs so far.
Yeah.
Um, I really liked the female vocalist on the song a lot. I think it was a very welcome like change of sound for this album. I think she just fits into the song very well. I think it's a very sweet sounding song. I think I think their voices just go really well together. I think that chorus is just very catchy. Um, and yeah, I really love these instrumental parts of the song with this bass and this like cash register sample
Oh
that's really loud
yeah,
and
yeah.
reverby.
I
It's
like
I think
that.
that yeah, I think it's super good. Um, and yeah, I just really liked the sound of this song. I really like the sound of the synthesizers. There's like this airy synthesizer that like surrounds the whole song.
Mhm.
Um, and there's like a brass synthesizer sound that I really like the sound of. And yeah, I just think it's just really catchy, just super well written pop song, similar to other songs on here. This is, I mean, it's a pop album, but
Yeah,
I think this band really knows how to write a good pop song, and I think
I agree with that.
this is, and to me, I think this is actually, was this a single?
No.
I think it's interesting that this wasn't. This would have been like my, maybe along with the Look of Love, like one of my first choices for a single. I don't know, to me the chorus sounded very much, I mean, any of these songs I could probably imagine hearing on the radio, but this song I could imagine being like a classic, like, 80s pop song. I don't know, like,
That's high
it
praise.
sounds,
That's high praise.
yeah, and I don't know, to me it just sounds like a song that would be, like, really popular to me. I don't know, with the duet chorus. I don't know. I mean, I guess it just sounded even more 80s-y to me than other songs on this album, which is really, really speaking to its 80s-ness. But, I mean, maybe just because I'm an 80s freak, I love this song. I think I'm feeling like a 9.3 on it.
Wow. I'm feeling like a 7.9. So the next song is All of My Heart, which was a single. It peaked at number 5 on the UK 5 singles chart. So we'll see. We'll see how it is. It's called All of My Heart. Let's listen to All of My Heart, the 8th song of the Lexicon of Love by ABC, the anti-penultimate song. Preston, what did you think about this song?
I thought it was nice. I think it's definitely my least favorite song on the album so far. I mean, I appreciate that it sounds different from the other songs on this album. This is slower than the other songs on this album. It's definitely like a ballad. I mean, it is. I did think it was kind of corny. I mean, I guess that's to be expected with the 80s ballad. I mean, I thought it sounded nice. I liked some of the piano melodies in it. But I don't know. It's not a song that I feel like would stick with me. Even though, I mean, I thought it was alright. I didn't mind it. I did think it was a little long. But to me, the outro was my favorite part of the song. I just liked that part musically more than the other parts. I liked the sound of the strings. These very lavish string arrangements. I think they work good for this type of like slower song. And there's like an interesting like echoey like plucky guitar in that part that I thought was interesting and good. So I do think there's good things about the song, and I mean it definitely has a lot of passion in the vocals, which I like. So I definitely think there are things about it that are good. I could see why someone could even love this song. But me personally, I felt like for the most part, songwriting wise, it wasn't as strong to me. I think they're really good at, maybe better at writing an upbeat pop song than like a ballad. But
yeah, maybe that's why maybe we shouldn't have encouraged them.
Yeah, but I still thought there were good things about it. It just wasn't quite clicking with me for the most part, even though I thought it was nice.
So what's the rating here, Buttercup?
I mean, I guess I'm feeling like a 7.2, but there are good things about it, and if I were to listen to this album again, I wouldn't skip it. I would give it another chance, and maybe it could grow on me, but for the most part, it didn't leave a huge impression on me.
To me, it sounded like a David Bowie song from the nadir of his career. So I'm feeling like a 4. Did not like it. It wasn't a good song to me.
I definitely see why.
It was very. It was like I was listening to slow jazz, and not even good slow jazz.
Yeah,
So,
I can see that.
And it's really dissonant in a bad way. Like it caught me off guard in a bad way.
Interesting. I didn't find it dissonant.
It's not really dissonant. It's just like disparate, I guess. From the last 7 songs, you have these upbeat new wave disco songs, and then you go into like this really bad
Oh yeah, I see what you
David
mean.
Bowie, like probably like I don't know what era. It sounded like a mix between like his mid '80s stuff or his early '80s stuff and his the one with Fame on it. That that disco-y one he did sorta, but it was a ballad, so it really wasn't any of that. It was really just like vocally he sounded like a bad David Bowie, and I feel like I've said that before about him. Like
Yeah,
sometimes
you said that on Tears Are Not
yeah,
Enough, I think.
sometimes like I like the vocals generally, but like when he doesn't sound good, he sounds like a bad imitation of David Bowie. He's a Bowie pastiche.
Yeah, I can
And,
see that, yeah.
and but like when he's good, he's almost like his own unique thing. But like when he
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder if he was influenced by David Bowie. I mean,
Yeah, I wouldn't be
at this
surprised.
era, what musician wasn't, especially like in this genre.
Hmm.
So, uh, uh,
Well, we'll come back
okay.
when we listen to the next song,
Uh, yeah, we'll listen to the next song,
Forever Together, and actually,
Forever Together, and The Look of Love, Part 4.
yeah, the last song, we're listening
Um, we're
to
listening to
both of them.
Together, and then we're gonna give our thoughts on that song, and then the album, and then we're gonna listen to Theme of Man Trap, and it's gonna be exterior to the album rating. It'll just be its own separate thing, similar to how you judge yourself for the Holy Bible. So we'll review those, finish up the album, give you thoughts, let you know. So we just finished off the album, the originally released album on Spotify. There's an extra song that we will review, but we will not factor it into our review because it was not released originally with the album. The last two songs were Forever Together and The Look of Love Part 4, and I thought, do you mind if I go first?
Yeah, you can go first.
I thought that Forever Together was probably my favorite song on the album.
Wow.
I liked it a lot. I just loved the sound of it.
Yeah.
It sort of culminated it. Like it was like a culmination of like it was like this is like as good as it's gonna get with this aesthetic, with this album, with this like song, with this style we're doing. This song is as good as it's gonna get. That's kind of how I felt. So this song's getting a 9.4 from me.
Wow. That's interesting.
And I'm gonna go ahead and review the Look of Love Part 4. I thought it was a really good instrumental, actually, which I usually don't say that about instrumentals.
Really?
And I think it was a really good, like, kind of like. I'm unsure why they separated it from Forever Together, because I feel like if that was at the end of Forever Together, that would have just made Forever Together even better. And I'm unsure why they called it Part 4 when there's no parts 2 or 3. Maybe it's some 80s gag. I don't know.
Well, there are parts 2 and 3. They're just on various other things. I think I read that part 2 is like. I think part 2 is like an instrumental of The Look of Love, and part 3 is like the a cappella version or something. And they're just on like different like B-sides of singles or something.
Okay. So there actually do exist part 2 and 3. They're just not on the album.
Yeah.
That's still weird. I felt like that should have been attached to the end of Forever Together, though. But still, as an instrumental, I thought it was good. I'm feeling an 8.
Wow.
So, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and overall and review the whole album. Just take on over. I thought overall, as a 80s synth pop album, I could see why it's considered a classic. I don't know much about synth pop, but I know that I enjoy listening to it. And I generally enjoy listening to synth pop, but this was one of the better synth pop albums I heard. One of the probably the more memorable ones. And There were a few clunkers, I thought, a few songs that weren't quite great, but I could still see why this is considered like a classic in synth pop. But I could also see why this is not really brought up often. Like you said, it wasn't really brought up often. I can see why it wasn't really brought up often because I think there's enough roughness around the edges to really like solidify this as like you absolutely must listen to this if you listen to synth pop. Because it's not like that, right, Preston? Like you don't hear people put the like this isn't number. This usually doesn't like rank top 3 or 5 on must listen to synth pop albums, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, as far as like '80s albums goes, like I never heard of it until I like heard the song somewhere, and I don't really like see it anywhere.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Like it didn't make it big because it's a little rough around the edges, which I personally kind of like. I like that it's not super polished and produced, and I mean obviously it's not lo-fi. There's definitely like some big production, big sounds, but I feel like there's sort of like not really a rawness, but I don't know. Like some synth pop that I've heard is sort of it feels very produced. Like it feels very like manufactured, and I feel like the Lexicon of Love lacks that inauthenticity, which I enjoy. Even though all the songs didn't hit, I thought that the album overall was a good listen. So I'm going to give it an 8.4 out of 10.
Okay.
So you go ahead and read the last 2 songs and give your overall rating, Preston.
Alright, I thought it was interesting that you said Forever Together sort of... I thought it was interesting that you found it to be sort of... that took, like, all the elements from previous songs and put them into, like, what the best version of that would be. That's kind of what you said, right?
Yeah. I
find it interesting that you said that because I found this song very different from the other songs on the album, and it surprised me. I didn't hear a strong disco influence on this song. It was more mid-tempo, and I thought it was a lot darker than any other song on the album. It's very, like, pessimistic and sad, the lyrics. And so I found this to be a very dark song, but I really liked that, and it surprised me in a very good way. I just like... I don't know, I like how on an otherwise, like, upbeat album, and it's not that songs don't express sadness or pain in any other songs. They definitely have on other songs on this album, but for some reason this song just definitely seemed more so. I think the music definitely added to that darker feeling. Yeah. And, yeah, I thought it was great, though. I really loved this song. Yeah, I thought the chorus was super strong. I mean, I thought everything was really strong about this song. I thought it was great. So I think I'm feeling like a 9.4 on this song as well.
Okay.
Or, well, maybe like a 9.2. I can't say I like it as much as like Date Stamp, but okay. I did really like this song a lot, and I think it's a great way to almost end the album. And with The Look of Love, Part 4, I can't say I loved it as much as you did. I mean, I think it's fine. I think it's a fine thing to put at the end of the album.
It should have gone at the end of Forever Together. It shouldn't have been a separate song. Or it should have been maybe an interlude somewhere else in the album. I don't think it should have really ended the album. Which I guess technically on the Spotify version it doesn't. But like on the original album version that you would pick up in 1982, it would have in the end.
Well, just in my personal, just in my personal opinion, I wouldn't put it at the end of Forever Together, even though it basically is for the end of the album. But I feel like it doesn't fit with that track, given how like kind of dark that song is compared to the other songs on the album. And The Look of Love is such a, I don't know, it's like a very like jovial song. But I think it's a fine way to end the album. It's a very grand, super big arrangement, and I definitely think it's good. Um, but yeah, I think um, I guess I just prefer the arrangements when they're in the song, the original song, I guess. But I think I definitely see why they would isolate them because they are very impressive, grand arrangements. I thought it was nice. I thought it was like a nice way to end the album, but I wasn't like in love with it. But so I guess to give it a score, I would give it like a 7. I guess I just thought it was like a nice outro.
Maybe it would have been better as an introduction into Forever Together. Maybe
Maybe.
after All of My Heart, because you get that taste of All of My Heart out of your mouth. Okay, so overall rating, Preston Buttercup. What do you think about this album?
Well, I think Forever Together very successfully washed out the taste of All of My Heart in a very good, pleasant way. Because I love how that song surprised me. But overall, I thought this was a really good album, and yeah, I definitely see why this is an acclaimed album. I think they're great at writing a pop song, and these are some great pop songs on here. I mean, of course, I liked some songs more than others. I don't think it's totally consistent, I guess, but I think there are like a lot of great songs on here. So yeah, and I just want to say I thought it was interesting too that you said like that you called the album like raw, or you said that something about the production that I don't know. I think the production of this album is very good. And I think it's. I mean, not that you didn't say it wasn't good, but I think it's very like lavish and very big and very. I don't know. I think it's like a super produced album, but I do know what you mean. I think the rawness. I think what you mean is maybe like of the singer and just maybe like the passion and the energy and the emotion of the album.
It doesn't feel like it was manufactured to be a hit. Like, it doesn't, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's actually something I like about a lot of synth pop that might sound strangely enough, since a lot of it, well, I think with pop music in general, you get a lot of it that sounds manufactured, but something that I love about synth pop is when it gets very passionate and emotional. I don't know, for me personally, I think maybe the instantaneousness and the catchiness of pop music can't make I don't know, I think maybe it can make emotions hit more, make passion hit more. I don't know, that probably was worded very poorly.
Oh, do you mean how the instantaneity of pop music and its energy makes it hit more immediately as opposed to like a slow build up deathcore or like slow black metal ambient song or something?
Well, yeah, but I mean, of course, I love all kinds of music, but I think for me, pop music.
That's what you like.
I think when it's something I like about pop music is that I think it can be super emotional and passionate to me, and I think, yeah, and I do think the instantaneousness of the beats and of the melodies that are supposed to be catchy and stick in your head, I think really add to that. I don't know. But anyway, but yeah, this is an instance where it doesn't sound like a manufactured pop song. I think these are pop songs that I think are an example of what to me makes pop music so great. So yeah, I thought this was a really great album, and I think overall I think I'll feel like an 8.8 on it. I think All of My Heart actually did hinder the album a little bit, since it's quite a long song.
Oh, I will say, sorry to interrupt, we need to pick our 3 choices, so...
Oh, right.
You traditionally go first, so you go ahead.
Well, we did heads or tails last time. You want to do that again?
We could just alternate between who went first last time.
Oh, then it would be you.
Yeah, I did. Did I go first last time?
No, I went first.
Okay, so I guess I'll go first this time. I have to I'm keeping an archive of everything in notepads. So my top 3 choices for this album would be Forever Together. But I almost feel like you have to listen to the whole album to really get this song.
I think the song has more of an impact. I mean, I think it has a really big impact of being at the end of the album, yeah.
Many Happy Returns, and I think The Look of Love Part 1.
Alright.
Those are my top 3 choices.
So I'm gonna go with Show Me.
I almost picked Show Me, but then I remembered Look of Love existed.
Yeah. Date Stamp. And I mean, I would have chosen Look of Love or Forever Together, but I think I'll go with Poison Arrow.
It's not a bad decision. So there you have it. We're gonna listen to the theme from Man Trap, and then talk about the next album we're reviewing, and then that'll be a separate episode. So we'll listen to Man Trap, to the theme from Manhunter, which won't factor into our official score. This is definitely a novelty song. It's Poison Arrow, but sung in sort of like a loungy,
piano-driven,
ballad, I guess.
Yeah, I've definitely heard this type of music before. I just don't know what the exact word for it is.
Yeah.
It's like loungy, sort of jazzy, like piano music.
Jounds Laz. Jounds
Laz. Camp Lazlo.
Punk.
It's pop punk mixed with Camp Lazlo.
Camp Lazlo factors into this. Overall, it was just too long. I kind of got the joke after the first minute. Like, after I realized it was Poison Arrow, I was like, oh, okay, so I have to sit through another rendition of Poison Arrow, which isn't even my favorite song off the album, but in, like, a worse sound. So, I don't know why they chose this as the theme for whatever Man Trap was. Maybe, there's no way they played the whole song, so there must have been a part they picked that they chose to play. I wonder which part it was. I don't know, but I'm feeling like a 5 on this.
I didn't dislike it as much as you did, but
5 is average. 5 is like eh.
Yeah, okay. I thought it was alright. Apparently Man Trap is some short film that features songs from the album. So I guess they decided to open the film with that or something. I thought it was interesting how they chose to to do this song. I thought
yes.
But I don't know, the song itself I thought was just okay. I don't know if I'd listen to it again. I did like it more when at first it was just the piano and his voice, but I liked it more when more instruments came in. I like the sound of the synthesizers. I'm not opposed to like a loungy sound. I like a lot of those chords, and I've liked songs in that kind of style, but
it's just weird that this is tacked on at the end of this album on Spotify. Like, this should be like its own single or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
It just kind of makes it feel like that. Like, it's like, wow, they made their last song this. That's strange. Like,
Yeah.
new normies might get confused. The new normies.
The new normie.
So, what would you give
New
theme
metal
of
normie.
What would you give theme of Man Trap?
Well, I guess like a 6.5. I liked the synthesizer sounds in it quite a bit. I thought it was interesting. I didn't mind listening to it, but I don't think I would listen to it again.
Okay, well, that ends Tune Corner episode 3. And for episode 4, it's an album I picked, I guess, but it was basically we're trying to do a consensus. Like, I chose it. That Preston said, okay, that sounds okay. And it's pretty much going to be like, one of us is going to have, we're not going to both say, let's do this album at the same time. So it'll have to be someone will have to be the picker and someone will have to be the agreeer. In this case, I was the picker, and I have actually heard this album before, but like 2 or 3 times, and like 5 years ago, and I remember liking it, sort of. Like I remember thinking it was decent. So I don't know, maybe we'll get some interesting opinions or sounds out of that album, but that'll be on the next one. This is the end of Tune Corner episode 3, where we reviewed what was the name of this album?
ABC for Ep 3.
Yeah.
Lexicon of Love. Thank you for listening as always.
Buttercup gave it an 8.8, and I gave it an 8.4. Sign us
Very
off,
good.
Preston. Sign us off.
Have fun times, and